Bod History.
Welcome to this episode of Dad Bod History. I'm Jake. We got Eric and Jeff, and we have movies. That's right. We're going to do a movie-style March Madness bracket, and we're going to do the pick the movies today. And we're going to call back to what we did several months ago in March of 2021, where we did the Ides of March Madness, where we put all the greatest Caesars into their appropriate brackets and had them compete via various questions of certain ridiculousness.
Hilarity ensued.
Yeah. And our grand champion that time was Cincinnatus, hero of Rome. So the same thing we're going to do today is we're going to draw our movies, put them in their appropriate brackets. And then over the next several episodes, we are going to have them compete against one another. Those of you that have been watching faithfully, the movies that we're picking, Janice primarily, the movies that we're picking are movies that we did drafts over the past several months, starting with the 80s, then the 90s, the 2000s, and then the 2010s. So the movies have already been selected in our drafts, and then Eric painstakingly winnowed those down into a top 48. Correct, Eric?
Correct-ish, with some help. Yeah. But we were going to do this bracket thing. We came up with this in June before we had done the 2000s and 2010s.
Yeah, we were big fans of cart before the horse sort of situation there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we had a half an idea and went with it, and it grew.
And it's awesome. And here we are. So that's kind of the basic play is we have our 48 movies that we've pulled out of the drafts that we've had. We're going to get them in their appropriate brackets based on their seeding tonight. And then over the next couple of weeks, we will be having them compete just like you would in the NCAA March Madness tournament, and until there is only one remaining.
Yeah. So I just want to jump in. Our seeding is based kind of on where they were picked in the draft, but the seeding means nothing once we get down to the questions that Jeff will very particular.
Yeah, something we learned. I mean, we all thought Marcus Aurelius or Julius Caesar was going to go all the way in Ides of March Madness. And
the favorite, but Caesar salad made a deep run.
The Kaiser roll.
Story.
The Kaiser roll was a one-man wrecking crew.
Punching way above its weight.
Yeah. So nobody expects Wichita State, but So don't think, just because Avengers Endgame is the biggest movie of all time, that it's going to win this tournament. You don't know.
Girls could knock it out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It all depends on the question. Who do you want babysitting your kids? Thanos or Regina from Mean Girls? I mean, it's a fair question.
That's should we replace a few of these with inanimate objects? Should we have bucket of popcorn in here and bag of chocolate?
Concession stand.
That's right. Like, what would you rather have? Concession stand or Wolf of Wall Street?
Who'd you rather have? Mad Max, Fury Road, or Ticket Taker? Ooh, tough call. Tough call. We should have thought of that beforehand. No, let's just keep the ones we got because we've got a really good list.
All right.
So Eric, what are we doing next?
Well, so here's what we've got. We've got all 48 movies broken down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 seeds.
Okay.
And so we'll draw those out. Before we do that, we have 8 regions, and we're going to name these after directors over the past 4 years. So we have Director Region A, and unless somebody has somebody, I'm going to name this one Steven Spielberg Region.
That's good. He's got quite a few contenders in this tournament. So
and he may not be the clear number one of the last 40 years, but there's a strong argument to be made.
He's in the top 8.
Easily. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so region 1 is
Steven Spielberg.
All right, region B. All right, let's go Scorsese. He's up there. He's got his gold jacket.
I just want to watch Eric try to spell Scorsese.
Did I get it right? I got it right.
Oh, I'm on the wrong bracket here. It's creeping in. Close enough for me. You can double check that later.
Yeah.
Jeff, you got one for Region C, slam dunk?
Yeah, I got two to choose from, but I'm gonna go with my heart. It's Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer if we're talking Hollywood directors over the last 40 years.
You know, I just saw a clip of him. He might have been talking to Conan O'Brien, and he basically said, I'm going to direct, was it 10 movies?
Yeah, one more.
And then he's like, and then I'm going to be done. He goes, I don't want to just be making movies for the sake of making movies. He goes, if I can't tell everything I need to tell in 10 movies, then I should just stop telling it anyway. I thought that was really an interesting outlook.
He got way into that whole thing on Joe Rogan. That the Joe Rogan Quentin Tarantino podcast was a good one. But yeah, they talked about a lot of his stuff in detail. Sometimes you wonder if the guy knew he had a microphone in front of him.
You say one thing about Quentin Tarantino, he is not afraid to speak his mind about anything.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, I'll go with the next one. My other choice that I could have gone back and forth with Tarantino is James Cameron.
Okay. Yeah.
True Lies, Terminator, T2, Avatar, Titanic.
Yeah, he just doesn't miss.
Piranha 3 in 3D.
A masterpiece of art. Yeah. Okay. This one is, and feel free to disagree with me, but I think John Hughes deserves to be in this conversation, especially when we talk about the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, we were going over this earlier, and I didn't have him on my list. And that was the error of omission on that one. That's a good pick.
I think when we were discussing, it's Hughes, I believe, Eric. But maybe yours just delayed on mine. There we go. But something that when we were discussing is like, well, what about Orson Welles? Because he made quite possibly the greatest movie of all time, but he's not part of this era, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. So we want to keep the directors current to the subject we're talking about.
Okay, so what do we have? We got three more, Eric?
Yeah.
You got one to throw out there?
I want to, this would kind of be one that I really enjoy, and that would be Christopher Nolan.
Oh, that's a great pick.
And again, he's really only been making stuff for the past 15 years that has really gotten a lot of heavy saturation in the market. But
yeah, but a couple of his movies are on this list. I mean,
yeah,
he's making stuff that people watch.
Okay, I've got another one to throw in there. And then I have several more written down, but this one to me, for me, is a no-brainer. So I'm curious to see what you guys think, but I got Stanley Kubrick.
I like Stanley Kubrick. I like his movies. But were they all 70s?
No, he's got The Shining. He had Full Metal Jacket, came out.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Maybe in the 80s. He had,
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut. That movie was far out.
Yeah, that was something.
Have you guys ever seen Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop and Love the Bomb? That's a really cool movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's put Kubrick in there. I think that's he was Tarantino before it was cool.
Yeah, I agree. 2010 A Space Odyssey did that.
One that just popped in my head as we were discussing, and I totally understand if we don't want to put him on as our 8th. Are you still doing number 7, Eric, for Kubrick?
I got him on there.
Okay. John Favreau.
Oh.
Because without him, there is no MCU.
Okay, so let's talk about, we got Favreau, I've got David Fincher, I've got Ridley Scott, and I've got Dennis Villeneuve.
Ridley Scott.
Dennis Villeneuve, I mean, he's done Sicario, he's done obviously
just a Dune, right? Yeah.
Just a Dune. I'm gonna have to dig deep to get into the rest of his list, but I think he's a contender. What do you think, Eric?
I would lean into Ridley Scott as far as the list you gave me, and as far as kind of how they affected these decades. Ridley Scott has a bigger impact than Villeneuve. I thought it was pronounced
Villeneuve. I have no idea.
I'm sure he's going to message us later.
Dune, Blade Runner 2049, Arrival, Sicario, Prisoners. He did that. Did you guys see Prisoners with what's his face from Nightcrawler?
I'm gonna stop
Ridley
us
Scott
right
had
there, because Arrival, if you've seen it, you need to go read the short story by Ted Chiang and his book of short stories that comes from. It's some of the wildest short stories I've ever read. They're amazing.
So you're talking about, look up the collection and there's really good stuff in there.
Yeah. Ted Chiang, Chiang. And the story of Arrival is in there. It's got a different name. The story that starts that book is about a person who is helping to build the Tower of Babel. And it's just wild and out there. It was a great read.
So it's interesting is Ridley Scott, Alien, obviously, Gladiator. The original Blade Runner was Ridley Scott. So if Denis Villanueva or whatever was Blade Runner 2049, Ridley Scott was the original. Kingdom of Heaven, which kind of got dumped on, but I actually really liked that movie.
The director's cut is very different and really good.
Yeah. I kind of agree with Eric.
Murder on the Orient Express.
I agree with Eric. I think Ridley Scott, if we're talking like GOAT directors, he's probably got a little bit better resume than.
Here's one of the issues with Ridley Scott, though, is most of his IMDb, and this isn't a knock against, this is just something to note. He produces far more than he directs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So this director, Denis
Villeneuve. I can't say it.
I look at that name and I think Villanueva, because I'm thinking Spanish, but it's French, and it's Villeneuve.
Yeah.
It's not even Denis. It's Denis Villeneuve.
Now you've gone too far.
Denis. Okay, yeah.
Denis.
Now we're getting too French. Oui.
So
right.
What do we settle on here?
I think Ridley Scott's resume is a little bit better, but
I know Ridley Scott, Alien. There's a lot of good stuff there.
All right. So we have our 8 regions. Each region represents 6 movies. We have the Steven Spielberg region, the Martin Scorsese region, the Quentin Tarantino region, James Cameron region, John Hughes region, Christopher Nolan region, Stanley Kubrick region, and the Ridley Scott region. And in each of these regions, 6 movies will be present. And once we actually get into the matchups in later episode, we will get 2 teams out of each region to get to the Sweet 16 candles.
Yes.
And then the End Game 8 and the Pulp Fiction 4.
I love it.
In the bracket. So we've got this set up. So I guess we're going to go into the draws next. I'm going to walk us through what movies are these seeds. So I'll start with our 6 seeds.
We're not drawing our 6 seeds first, are we? We can draw.
I'm just going to read through them.
Okay, that's fine.
The 6 seeds include 7, The Empire Strikes Back, Jurassic Park, Rocky IV, In Bruges, Braveheart, The Wolf of Wall Street, and The Passion of the Christ.
Now, I know what you're thinking.
Jesus has to win.
Well, you're thinking, man, Jesus has to. Exactly. Merry Christmas. But you're thinking, wow, Empire Strikes Back. How is that not a 1 seed? Well, wait till you see our 1 seeds. And we also had some 1 seeds that got picked because there were certain questionable first round picks. That's really what it comes down to.
And a lot of the seeding order is based on the way that these were drafted. And
it was like the Browns were doing our draft one day.
Yeah. Go back and listen to the broadcast and tell me what you think.
Go back and watch the draft. You'll see what's going on.
Listener. Yeah.
All right. So our 5 seeds: Scarface, Predator, Apollo 13, Happy Gilmore, The Return of the King, The Prestige, Scott Pilgrim, and Inside Out.
See, I thought the 5 seeds was there's a couple of sleepers in there that might make a run. I think Return of the King's up there. Apollo 13, Scarface. Scott
My
Pilgrim.
document shows Tommy Boy.
Huh?
I've got Tommy Boy, not what was the Adam Sandler one you just said?
That's right.
Yeah, that one changed.
I didn't make the change here. So Tommy Boy, not
Happy Gilmore.
Not Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Happy Gilmore, but it's no Tommy Boy.
And yeah, anyone who's going back and trying to find fault in our system might notice that some movies have been moved around from where they're drafted. And that's because, they're privileged to being executive producers of Dad Bod History. We get to make changes as necessary.
I mean, the cabal that is the NCAA football selection committee. And I mean, it's all, Condoleezza Rice and Barry Alvarez making deals with the devil and how they make some of those picks. So we can do what we want. That's all I'm saying.
I love that they have a former secretary of, what was she? Secretary of
State.
Yeah. In the college. I mean, why not? Why not have former high-level politicians?
She might become the president of the NCAA.
She was a legitimate contender for the next commissioner of the NFL. True story.
And you know what? They could do a whole lot worse.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
it's some of these people who would be fantastic at actually running the country, and instead
they want to run football
because they get more money.
Well, it makes sense. A lot better. Yeah,
more fun, makes more sense. You're not hated by half of the country.
Well, it's the NFL. She'll be hated by 30 seconds of the country. All right. So the 4 seeds, Top Gun, Field of Dreams, Forrest Gump, The Lion King, the original animated, The Dark Knight, V for Vendetta, Warrior, and American Sniper.
That's a strong group.
Let's pause for a second. You guys have either one of you or both of you has watched or started watching Warrior?
I finished it today and Eric's watching it.
I'm about half an hour into it. Yeah. And the 4 seed has 2 movies that I've not seen yet. So I have to watch Warrior and American Sniper. So I'm going to watch Warrior first.
I just finished Warrior. I liked it. I didn't know what to expect.
I'm just, very working class, run downtown, like really.
Something I like about whoever the director was for that movie is that they use silence. Like they don't like force extra noise and extra audio. Like when Tom Hardy and Nick Nolte are having that initial conversation and like they're letting the pauses linger to add more effect. And they're just talking in a very quiet voice, but like every word they're using matters and like it has meaning. Like so many movies, they lose the dialogue because they want to distract you with all this action. And there's a lot of action in this movie. But like,
it's a great role for Nick Nolte. It's a great role for him.
Oh, he's incredible in it. He's probably my favorite person in the movie, honestly. Yeah. And I like Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton did a great job, but Nick Nolte, he did perfect.
Yeah. Nick Nolte, a man with demons who's precariously sober. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay. Sorry to interrupt, Eric. Keep going.
No. These are the conversations that people want to hear. This is why people are paying to listen to us.
This is why we have those big sponsors.
Yeah. Speaking of which, if you look at the screen, there it is. Coal Creek.
All of your wireless site development and modification needs can be met in one place. That place is Coal Creek Consulting.
Who says we need copy? We got Jeff.
I'll have another 8 seconds next week.
Was that that's your elevator pitch, wasn't it? You worked on that for.
That's a 1-floor elevator pitch.
Yeah, try working at Coal Creek and explaining to your grandmother what you do. She has no idea what any of those words mean.
Okay, so you know phones, right?
I build cell towers, Grandma. That's
like
all I use
my rotary phone. All right.
If I don't want to have a conversation and people are like, what do you do? I'm like, I work in real estate. Okay, cool.
Because the wireless answer is a long one.
Yeah. What do you mean wireless? I just do real estate work.
Do you guys build towers? Sure. No, all right. Good enough. Okay.
3 seeds. Stand By Me, Die Hard, American Pie, Office Space, Mean Girls, 300, which, by the way, was a 1 seed until the college football playoff committee came in and removed it, as they should have.
It's a good movie. It's not a 1 seed.
Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming and Hacksaw Ridge.
Another strong group. I think the weakest in that group might be Mean Girls or Office Space. And I think those are still
good
movies. Yeah.
Yeah. Are they great cinema? Do they win any awards? Unlikely, but are they?
This is not the Oscars. We don't care if you think it's a piece of art.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Things that we enjoyed.
It's not art, but it's a great representation of the era.
Yep.
That's art.
All right. 2 seeds. Right. Now we're getting to the high art stuff, the real good stuff.
All right. So our 2 seeds include Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Ghostbusters, Pulp Fiction, Toy Story, The Shawshank Redemption, Avatar, Mad Max Fury Road, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
That's 2 seeds with Spider-Man representing.
Yeah.
2 seed and the 3 seed. Spider-Man is in there.
And he appears in 3 films in our list.
Yeah, I believe there's only 1 MCU movie on the list. Am I correct?
There's 2.
Are there 2?
What's the other one? Because Into the Spider-Verse and Homecoming aren't MCU movies.
Homecoming is.
Oh, I guess it is.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. I still
Sony
consider
produced,
it
but
Sony,
it's still
but
MCU.
It's Marvel made, Sony produced. Yeah.
Our 1 seeds. And here they are. Saving Private Ryan, Rain Man, The Matrix, Dumb and Dumber, Gladiator, The Departed, Avengers Endgame, and Anchorman.
I love it because you've got some really intense movies, and then you've got Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels making the most annoying sound in the world at the 1 seed.
And the Legend of Ron Burgundy.
And they're totally holding their own.
Arguably peak Will Ferrell, peak Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
So
has it just Matrix is on here? Has anyone watched Resurrections yet?
Not yet.
I don't even want to.
Really?
I have no desire at all to watch
I enjoyed it. I feel like
you're the first person I've heard say that.
The first one, The Matrix, was great. The next 2 were
not great.
Meh. This was better than the second 2. Not as good as the first, but it has like the it does the same thing that the first movie did. It kind of brings you in and introduces you to something that's new and exciting. Whereas Matrix 2 and 3 were just kind of beating the dead horse. This one is, which I liked it.
Basically, it comes down to I'm willing to give anything Keanu is in a shot at this point.
Yeah,
he's earned a lot of credit in my book. But
okay, so
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run over you there. Comment on the 1 seeds. I like The Departed. I don't love The Departed. And I can't believe that this is our Martin Scorsese movie and that Goodfellas does not appear anywhere on this list.
So Goodfellas would have been in the 80s, right?
Yes.
And I think that's what happened is me and Eric did not bring a lot of heat when we drafted for the 80s. You handily won the 80s, Jeff, and we just didn't.
Yeah, no, you guys, it just, yeah. Have you guys seen Goodfellas?
Oh, yeah.
I have not, no.
Yeah, it's great.
Have you seen Casino, Jake?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, you don't like Casino?
Well, there's that scene with the Irishman that changed my outlook on things in the Vice.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
So I think those are.
No, I thought it was a great movie. Casino is awesome, but it's disturbingly awesome.
I was going to say those are the 2 best gangster movies or mafia movies, but then you would leave out Godfather 1 and 2.
Well, that's the thing is it's funny is because the best Godfather is in the 70s, and obviously we didn't do the 70s. And it's like, man, that's an all-time. Godfather 2, I think, is the best of the 3, but it's an all-time.
They both won Best Picture, 1 and 2.
They did?
They both won Best Picture.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
And had we done a 70s draft, The Godfather
would have reigned supreme. There's no question. Yeah.
So anyway.
And yeah, I'm not lobbying for any changes, just noting an observation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, Eric, what do we?
So let's go this way. And I don't know what your setup is on the.
You told me to grab a pot
seats.
and to have the names printed out. I have that done.
Okay. So do we want to go by region and draw like the 6 seed, the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, 1, or do we want to draw all the 6 seeds into all their brackets separately?
Well,
I think do them by seeds. That's
okay.
I think that would be easiest for Jake. It would avoid this getting bogged down. Let's
start with our 6 seeds. We'll start low.
Okay.
We'll just go in order. Steven Spielberg region, Martin Scorsese region, Quentin Tarantino region, Cameron, Hughes, Nolan, Kubrick, and Scott.
And I thought you actually meant just Cameron.
No, James Cameron, John Hughes, Christopher Nolan, Stanley Kubrick, and Ridley Scott. So we'll go in that order. So our 6 seed in the Steven Spielberg region.
Okay, let me put the names in the pot. I mean, it doesn't get much more official than this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
For those listening, he's literally stirring
good audio right there
with a wooden
in his
spoon.
pot.
Yeah.
All right. 6 seed for the first region is Passion of the Christ. Starting it out.
Okay. And for the Martin Scorsese region?
7.
Ooh.
7 with Scorsese.
That's a strong 6 seed right there.
Yeah.
For the Quentin Tarantino region?
Rocky 4. I had a question about Rocky. In your opinion, what is the best Rocky movie?
Gosh.
Because I think 4 is right up there. But if we're counting the post Rocky 5 era, I would throw Creed right into that mix.
You know what? There's a lot of good movies, and I cannot stand Sylvester Stallone, but the first Rocky won Best Picture. Rocky 2 was basically the same story. Mm-hmm. But then Rocky 3 had Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, and that was good stuff. And Rocky 4 is iconic. But then you're right, Creed is a fantastic. I mean, they breathe brand new, great life into that series. Eric, you haven't seen it, have you?
I have only seen probably the first Rocky and Rocky 4, and that's it.
And that's okay. If those are the 2 you've seen.
But if you're recommending
some of the best,
Creed is a strong third.
But Creed is really,
maybe
really
I need
good.
to go for it.
And Creed might be 1 or 2. It's that good.
I didn't care so much for the second Creed, but the first one was an outstanding movie. I didn't see the second
Creed yet. And
it's all right.
All right. What region are we in now?
James Cameron.
Possibly the best Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back.
Well, the only one on this list. So, yeah. And in my mind, the best Star Wars movie.
Okay. The John Hughes region.
In Bruges.
It's a Jack Peterson special.
So this In Bruges is kind of a Kaiser roll selection, I think. I think we're going to discount this one, but I think it might surprise us. I think it could make a run because nobody
depends on the question, right?
Yeah, nobody thought Kaiser roll was going to make it to the Flavian 4, and yet it did. So
I remember right, Eric. Yeah, there was some dispute on whether Kaiser roll even belonged in the tournament.
Yeah,
and then makes a deep run.
All right,
can't
next
trust
region.
The committee is all I'm saying. All right, the Stanley Kubrick region.
Wolf on Wall Street.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Christopher Nolan region.
Wolf of Wall Street. Not Wolf on, Wolf of.
Wolf on Wall Street is a children's book.
It's when Wolfie goes to the big city. It's
That's
really
right.
Good story.
And he eats all the capitalists.
Corporate pig. All right. Last region for the 6 seed.
The Ridley Scott region. What do you got?
Jurassic Park. Which that's another one where you think it should be a higher seed, but here we are. All right. You got them all in there, Eric?
Yep. What was after Wolf of Wall Street?
Jurassic Park.
You just did it. You put Jurassic Park and Ridley Scott. I mean, Stanley Kubrick?
Yeah.
Wasn't Stanley Kubrick Empire?
I've got Passion of the Christ, 7, Rocky IV, The Empire Strikes Back, In Bruges, The Wolf of Wall Street, Jurassic Park. Who are we missing?
Oh, we're missing one. That's because we didn't draw the last one. Ready?
Almost.
Well, we're missing Braveheart, aren't we?
Braveheart. So whatever the last region is, it's Braveheart.
That's Ridley Scott.
Okay.
So we've got a 1 seed in Gladiator and a 6 seed in Braveheart, and a lot of people just go back and forth on which of those movies are better. And they're both right and they're both wrong, but
yeah. Which in any tournament, just because you're a 6 seed doesn't mean you're not the best player or best team in that tournament. I mean, there's been a lot of soft 1 seeds in the world, so who knows what will happen.
You could have dominated in the MAC, and the committee wasn't impressed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're moving on to the 5 seeds.
Get a good stir in there.
Yeah, no, they're mixed. Okay,
they're done. All right,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we're good. First one up for the 5 seeds is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Such a great movie.
All right. And the Martin Scorsese region, 5 seed.
Apollo 13. And this was interesting because that movie, I picked that movie, but I wanted to pick Saving Private Ryan, but I think, Eric, you took it right before me. And so I was left with the other great Tom Hanks movie of that decade.
I'm pretty sure I had Saving Private Ryan, and Eric
was
made
it
a
you?
face. Yeah, I still remember Eric's sour puss when I took it.
So.
Yeah.
All right, next.
No argument. Quentin Tarantino region.
Yep.
Predator.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. Eric, have you seen Predator?
I want to say that I have, but it's been a long time.
That's a no.
I probably
Jake,
watched it
Predator?
like at 9-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of out of the side of my...
Jesse the Body's Tour de Force. I mean, Carl Weathers was in that. Yeah, great movie.
Yeah, it was outstanding.
Jesse the Body might have the best line in all of cinema, but I'm not going to say it. So.
Here's something else that happened around that time is you had Aliens and Predator came out around the same time, and they were both some of the last really good special or sci-fi movies to use analog special effects. So you got the Predator is all done without computer. Same thing with Alien and Aliens. That was, It was real people. It was analog. It wasn't all this digital stuff. And I think those movies would have suffered if they were done digitally. Predator and Aliens both hold up remarkably well for that exact reason, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. The practical effects, especially for Alien with the face huggers and then the coming out of the stomach, it's like you couldn't have gotten that same visceral reaction with CGI. Right. Well, at least the CGI of the time. So,
but even Prometheus, I mean, that was CGI in the last 5 years, and the Alien is not as good. It just isn't, and it's all CGI.
Yeah. All right, what's our next region?
James Cameron.
The James Cameron region.
Return of the King. Speaking of James Cameron, Titanic is not on this list because I think Cameron took it as a wild card with his last pick. I think that's why.
I don't think he got picked for fear of reprisal from the unruly mob.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't take it.
And Cameron even said that when he picked, he goes, "You all like it. You just don't want to admit it." So anyway, But yeah, there you go. Return of the King.
All right, John Hughes region.
Inside Out. Animated film.
Jake's pick.
No, this was Cameron's. And he actually had a really good story for why he picked it.
You had an animated pick, though, with a good story.
I did?
Yeah.
Coco?
I feel like you did.
Coco.
I know you took
That's what it
Coco in
was.
one of them, yeah.
Yeah, Coco is mine. But no, Cameron picked Inside Out.
That's right.
And when he picked it, he told the story of why, and it really made a lot of sense. All right, next up.
Christopher Nolan region.
Scarface.
Have you guys seen Scarface?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm going to have to catch up on.
Yeah.
I got some homework to do.
Tony Montana.
There was a pretty good Scarface allusion in the latest remake of Home Alone, which is terrible and should not be watched by anybody. But
I didn't know they did it.
Well, and it's got, there's some Easter eggs in there, like the security system on the house is McAllister Home Security, and Kevin's older brother, who's always jacking with him in the movie.
Buzz?
Buzz, yeah, he's a cop in the town. So, but it's not, make no mistake, it is not good. In no way can I recommend you watch that movie.
Okay. Why ruin a good thing?
Yeah, but there was a pretty good Scarface allusion in there that went over most people's head, but it was funny.
All right. Next bracket.
All right. Stanley Kubrick region.
And this should have been in the Christopher Nolan region, The Prestige.
Oh, did you watch that tonight?
I just started. And you know what? Now that I'm watching it, I think I watched like the last 30 minutes of it once with you. I think you had it on. And so I sat down and finished it with you. But I'm missing everything that came up to that. So I'm kind of doing a little backfill.
It's good. It's good. I enjoyed that one.
Right. Next region.
Disappeared. The Ridley Scott region.
Tommy Boy.
All right. So
that should be it for our fives, right?
Yeah. So what's going to happen next is we're going to see our very first matchups with the 4 seeds, which that'll be kind of fun, that we'll get to see some matchups and
we can make some early predictions.
Yeah. Of course, the questions are going to,
the questions determine everything.
That's why they play the game.
Exactly.
I don't know why Washington played the game tonight, but they tried. They showed up. Did
you see their defensive guys got in a fight on the sideline?
No, I didn't.
Was this Washington Football Club?
Yeah.
Or football team or whatever.
Don't say football club because that would give it the legitimacy of soccer. And they are not.
Washington FC.
Yeah, they're not a legitimate sports organization right now.
Oh my gosh.
What seeds are you stirring up here?
The 4 seeds. They are now basting and ready to roll.
So in the Steven Spielberg region, our first matchup that we're going to have.
This first al dente matchup.
Yeah.
It's slightly undercooked. Ready? Ooh. Yeah. This is a good one for Steven Spielberg. Forrest Gump.
So Forrest Gump versus Scott Pilgrim versus The World.
And so you would think Forrest Gump is going to walk away with it. Best picture, classic, timeless movie, but
Tom Hanks, the other Tom Hanks, the third Tom Hanks.
But what if the question is who would you want to shred a guitar with? Well, then Scott Pilgrim. Forrest Gump can do a lot of things. He can dance, he can fight in Vietnam, he can run, but I've never seen him play guitar. Yeah.
It's true.
All right. Next one.
And just so everyone knows, Jeff's questions are completely legitimate. They're not they're random. He hasn't written them for each matchup.
No, I've written out a bunch of questions because it's a very on the spot kind of thing and just coming up with that. But yeah, I would consider myself well prepared. Very excited.
All right, next one up.
Martin Scorsese region.
Warrior
versus Apollo 13. Ooh.
Okay, so hey, just so everybody knows. Let's imagine that this was a matchup. So what was the matchup you just said, Eric?
Warrior versus Apollo 13.
And let's say the question was best movie for life advice.
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
Because you got with Apollo 13, overcoming literally life and death obstacles to get back home, perseverance.
Right. Versus all the growth and catharsis that you get in Warrior.
Exactly. With the father and son and the brothers. And it's not an easy question to answer.
Agreed. So anyhow, and that won't necessarily be the question for those movies, but just to give our listening audience a little taste.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next one. Next
into the Quentin Tarantino region.
Top Gun.
So Top Gun versus Predator.
Wow.
Now you're thinking yeah.
Some 80s heavyweights there.
Mm-hmm. That'll be a good one. Whatever the questions, that's going to be a must-see matchup right there.
All right, into the James Cameron region.
You got American Sniper, Bradley Cooper. That's one I've got to watch. I haven't seen that one yet.
Bradley Cooper versus Viggo Mortensen.
Oh, is it Return of the King?
Yep.
Jeez.
And Elijah Wood.
You're right. Fair enough. Ready for the next region?
Yep. John Hughes region. 4 seed.
Field of Dreams.
Ooh, Field of Dreams versus Inside Out. Kind of a
great baseball movie, a great movie in general.
I've been to the Field of Dreams.
Really?
In Iowa. Yeah. I'm there when I was a kid with my mom.
Did you play catch out there?
Yeah. Took some dirt.
How old were you?
Yeah, 10 or 11.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
Christopher Nolan region.
Oh, this is perfect. The Dark Knight.
Ooh. The Dark Knight versus Scarface.
Ooh. Okay. I like that.
All right. Into the Stanley Kubrick region. 4 seed.
All right. What do we got here? The Lion King.
Lion King versus The Prestige.
And that should leave us with one more.
Yep.
Which is V for Vendetta.
And Eric Hoffman's favorite.
I really enjoyed that movie. And I really enjoyed reading the comic after that movie. And I did the same thing with Watchmen.
Hugo Weaving
is written by the same guy, weren't they?
Frank Miller?
I believe so.
It wasn't Miller. It was
Grant Morrison. No, not Grant Morrison.
No. God bless it. I'll look it up. Something more.
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore. Yeah.
He
did The Killing Joke, which I read on your recommendation.
That's intense.
Do you like it, Eric?
I did.
It's heavy.
A little bit different, pretty heavy, but it was a lot shorter than I expected it to be.
That Joker in that comic is one of the reasons I loved the end of the Snyder cut so much. It's the very similar Joker to what Snyder did.
Yeah. Hugo Weaving's got a few appearances in this list now that I think about it, because V for Vendetta, he is V. He's in Return of the King. He's in The Matrix.
Yeah.
He does well.
The character that should have been him is in Endgame.
Red Skull?
Yeah, he was Red Skull.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't reprise the role for Endgame.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't him.
Oh. Why was that? What was the reason for that?
He's a pretentious. They've already explored that character, all that crap.
Explored? Okay.
Gotta show up for like one day of filming.
Explored the character.
I already explored everything for the superhero Nazi. There's nothing left to do. No more range left.
It's a dead genre. All right. We're in the 3 seats now, right?
All right. Yep. And Steven Spielberg region.
Chef
American Pie.
All right.
Gosh, I wish we could have had American Pie versus American Sniper.
The Stifler.
I don't know if America could have handled that matchup.
But American Pie versus The Passion of the Christ has a real potential.
That
comes down to the question, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to just spin the dial on that one. Go random. Give me a random question generator.
Need to, yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
What's the next one?
Martin Scorsese region.
Die Hard.
Die Hard versus Seven.
That's a great matchup. Two diametrically opposed movies.
Yeah.
That's good. I wouldn't say opposed, but different enough.
Very different threads.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson is in Seven, right?
You're thinking of Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, don't do that, Eric.
And all right. Yeah, moving on.
All right.
Next region?
Quentin Tarantino region.
Okay. Mean Girls.
Mean Girls versus Rocky IV.
That's got a very Kaiser roll feel to it.
Yeah. Don't count it out just because it's who would win a punch fight? Okay, Rocky IV, but
yeah, you discount Mean Girls at your peril. Because the question is never which is the better movie.
No, never. The James Cameron region.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
God, up against Empire. Dang it.
Yep. Great movie. Great Michael Keaton movie.
Yes.
There's so many great Michael Keaton movies.
I know. I mean, if we should have done a Michael Keaton draft on its own. All right.
John Hughes region.
John Hughes.
3 seed.
What 3 seed goes up against In Bruges?
If this doesn't say John Hughes, then I don't know what does. 300.
Textbook John Hughes.
Textbook. He had tagged Molly Ringwald to play Leonidas originally, but didn't work out.
Leonidas.
Yeah.
Remember that guy who played Jake in 16 Candles?
Oh, yeah, the guy that played Jake Ryan.
Yeah, exactly.
But nobody knows his real name because he stopped making movies after that.
A great Xerxes.
Yeah. All right.
The Christopher Nolan region.
Okay. Hacksaw Ridge. Mel Gibson directed that, right?
He did.
I believe so. Andrew Garfield was.
That was
brilliant.
your pick, Eric, wasn't it? Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, such a good movie.
All right, next one.
Stanley Kubrick region.
Jurassic Park versus
Stand By Me.
Basically the same film.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Let's go see the body that the Raptors left.
I think they used an animatronic Kiefer Sutherland. It's the first CGI Kiefer Sutherland. It was a big moment.
Yeah, it worked though. It played. All right, which leaves Office Space as the last.
Against Braveheart.
So we have some great matchups. That
Michael Bolton, what a good name. Yeah, he used to be. Oh, man.
So now we're going to get to the 2 seeds, which have a bye in the first round.
All right.
And back to the Steven Spielberg region.
Hold on. We'll do some filler while I get the.
So I said, do I know it? I wrote it.
Gotta get these bad boys cooking.
So the 2 seed in the Steven Spielberg region is going to face the winner between American Pie and The Passion of the Christ.
There's a lot of buys. There's 16 movies that go just straight to the second round.
Yep.
Which again, we thought Marcus Aurelius would walk away with it. He had a bye, but then Kaiser came in, knocked him out, and Bob's your uncle. So don't discount American Pie on this.
All right. American Pie is teen angst 90s classic. It is.
Yep. This is a good 2 seed. Toy Story. That's a good movie.
Agreed.
I mean, if anything can bridge and effectively hang with American Pie or Passion of the Christ, it's Toy Story.
Yeah, the movie that basically started Pixar, one of the great studios of their generation.
All right. The Martin Scorsese region, 2 seed.
Mad Max, Fury Road.
Wow. Which will take on the winner of 7 and Die Hard. That's a nice little regional we got cooking over there.
A lot of intensity.
Yeah. I mean, the Doofmobile, that's powerful.
I mean, it's all, look at this. We got Warrior, Apollo 13, Die Hard 7, and Mad Max Fury Road. That is a mean region. Whoever comes out of that region is going to be ready to eat their own guts.
My guess is, and this is just me making a prediction, the number 1 seed for the Martin Scorsese region is going to be Dumb and Dumber.
Very good chance.
All right.
Don't know. Quentin Tarantino, 2 seed.
Avatar.
A controversial pick.
Not The Last Airbender. We're talking Avatar, the James Cameron blockbuster. Yeah.
It was chosen in the animation category to much chagrin and discussion.
Yeah, there was some.
It was very debatable.
Yeah. No, now that we're not focusing on types of movie, I absolutely think it belongs in this bracket. Now that we're not discussing, well, is it a drama? Is it an animated? It absolutely belongs. I mean, it's the biggest movie of all time before Endgame, right?
Was it in the 80s, Cameron?
Oh, God, no. Yeah. What did he say? Vegas Vacation for his 80s pick?
For his 80s pick, yeah.
It was 97. Yeah, that was good times. All right.
James Cameron region 2 seed.
Well, speaking of James Cameron, possibly the best animated movie we picked, Into the Spider-Verse. Possibly the best comic book movie we picked. It's that good. It spans so many different.
I'm not going that far, but I'm going best Spider-Man movie at the time it was released.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. The Spider-Man movies, even the ones that aren't that great, the Spider-Man movies, the Tobey Maguire, I even like the first Andrew Garfield one. They've had a good run. Whereas like the X-Men movies kind of started good and then just went down.
Spider-Man I thought Logan was outstanding. And I also
Logan was incredible.
I like Days of Future Past too. I thought that was a good movie.
Yeah. But then, X-Men United was really weak.
Was that The Last Stand, the X-Men 3?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Last Stand.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, truly awful.
All right. What's the next region?
The John Hughes region.
Ain't afraid no ghosts. Ghostbusters.
That'll get.
Has anybody seen the new one
with Paul Rudd? No, I have not. Have you?
Ooh. No, I want to.
Who was I talking to? They said they've seen it, and they thought it was really good. They said they did a really good job with it.
So the studio apparently recently released the Ultimate Ghostbusters fan box set, and it had a book, the first 2 movies, and the one with the kids, and omitted the
one with the
ladies and Thor.
Huh. Yeah, Thor was in that.
Yeah, he was the best part of it. He was really funny. And I like most of those girls. I think most of those girls can and usually are funny, but that movie was lacking.
All right. Next one.
All right. Into we're Christopher Nolan region.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
probably the most iconic 80s movie
there ever was.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was my first pick in the 80s.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised it isn't a 1 seed actually. But yeah, that's
what it is.
2 seeds, nothing to joke about either. All right, next one.
Stanley Kubrick.
Shawshank Redemption.
That's an awesome movie right there.
Yeah.
So we could end up with a Stephen King matchup if Stand By Me can take out Jurassic Park. That would be something.
Yeah. All right.
And finally, the Ridley Scott region, number 2 seed.
Pulp Fiction.
Which was easy outs at this point in the game.
Which is a mind-bending movie when I saw it, when it came out. Like, it's just one of those I've never seen it before type movies.
Have you seen all of the Tarantino movies, Jake?
I have not. No. I mean, I've seen, was it Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, From Dusk Till Dawn. And then after that, it gets kind of spotty.
I don't think he directed that. I think he wrote it, but I think Robert Rodriguez directed Dusk Till Dawn.
You're right. And he was in it.
Right.
Yeah, but he didn't direct it. What was that one? Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Did he direct that?
That was Robert Rodriguez also.
Maybe I just really like Robert Rodriguez. I like that movie too.
Have you seen Death Proof?
I did not. And you recommended it to me years ago. And then I looked for it. And this was before everything was available on streaming. And
couldn't find it.
I couldn't find it at the time. So I might look for it again because I remember you could not recommend it high enough. Like
the car chase scene is second to none. It's a classic. So, all right. Go ahead.
This is an aside. Speaking of car chases, I remember years ago, someone telling me to watch Bullet with Steve McQueen.
Right.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. And it's got a classic car chase scene.
It's incredible. Cause this was like, after I'd seen Fast and the Furious and Ronin and
when was Bullet made? 70s,
60s or 70s. Yeah. And that car chase scene, it's so like, again, the power of not too much audio, because the audio is just them chasing each other around in town. And there's this moment in Bullet
in San Francisco, right?
Yeah. In San Francisco, and they're like spinning around and they got these big, Steve McQueen's got his Mustang, but then they've got this big, giant like Cadillac or whatever chasing them. And as they're going around these turns, Eric, a hubcap will pop off and it'll just go ding, 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 ding as the cars are zooming by. And there's this moment where the guys that are chasing McQueen stop their car, look at each other, and then buckle up their seatbelts, which was optional at the time. and
context matters. Context matters.
They didn't say a single thing. They just looked at each other and you just hear click. It's like, oh, it's on now. Like they were chasing before, but now it's gotten real because they buckled. Like it's so well done.
You guys mean business.
The whole movie's great, but like that car chasing was incredible. Sorry to go off on a tangent. All right, our 1 seeds. Got him in the pot.
Spielberg region. Here we go.
All right, is he going to get one of his own? Gladiator.
Yeah. I would say everything. I'm saying the same thing about all the 1 seeds. They're all fantastic. Gladiator definitely belongs.
The Martin Scorsese region, 1 seed.
Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, these are heavy hitters.
Could have a Tom Hanks matchup in the second round. All right, the Quentin Tarantino region. What was your question, Jake?
I was going to say, who would Saving Private Ryan take the winner?
Could be Apollo 13.
Tarantino region?
Yep.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Incorrect.
Told you he reads the cue cards. All right.
All right, James Cameron region, the 1 seed.
The culmination of the greatest cinematic experience ever, Endgame.
Ooh.
That's going to be a tough one. I mean, regardless of the question, Endgame is going to be a tough one to knock out, I think. That's going to be hard.
Yep.
Because it's got comedy, it's got action, it's got drama, it's got a teen. I mean, it's like it's going to be good. All right, next region.
John Hughes region.
Dumb and Dumber.
That belongs in the John Hughes region.
Yeah. All right, what do you got next?
Christopher Nolan region. We'll have to face The Dark Knight or Scarface.
And I think this is an appropriate matchup. The Matrix. Those are very similar.
Yeah. And the Stanley Kubrick region, number 1 seed.
Rain Man.
And finally, the Ridley Scott region, the last number 1 seed.
The Departed.
All right. So we have a full bracket. And we have a lot of good matchups. So here's what's going to happen. Our next episode, we are going to do the Steven Spielberg region, the Martin Scorsese region, the Quentin Tarantino region, and the James Cameron region. We'll do the first round and the second round only in those regions. And that will give us our first 8 in the Sweet 16. And then we'll do the John Hughes, Christopher Nolan, Stanley Kubrick, Ridley Scott regions, the first 2 rounds to give us those 16. And then we will have the final, starting from the Sweet 16 to the Endgame 8, to the Pulp Fiction 4, into the championship.
Oh, these are going to be good.
Yeah. And so Jeff will have the questions, and it's going to be amazing.
I'm excited. All right.
It's finally happening.
Really doing it, aren't we, guys?
Did it. We did it, guys. All right. Well,
hey, haven't said that. Is this our last episode of the year? I believe it is.
Likely will be.
Yeah. Solid 2021, ups and downs. I laughed, I cried, the whole range of human emotion. And, but I think we got some good episodes out and had fun at the same time. At least I know I did.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was you said it well, Jeff. I mean, 2021, every year, you know, is a trial and a blessing, but 2021 especially. But yeah, this was awesome. This was a good year doing this with you guys. So
yeah,
let's keep rolling.
Right on. Well, hey, Merry Christmas, guys. Have a good week, and can't wait to do this.
All right, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
All right, good stuff.
I like it. I'm excited.